little Himalayan sea salt. And some black pepper. So I got some dill and lemons for the top. Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to another adventure cooking video. What a day it's been. You know, I went out yesterday in the Jeep and I thought it was like the perfect day, temperature wise. But today, I actually drove about 2 hours to get up here and been driving around in this just, look, it was about 70 degrees. About 7,000, little over 7,000 feet where I'm at. About 70 degrees. Then some clouds came in, rain clouds. It did rain a little bit, you know, because I could see where there was no more dust and then dust. So just here and there with the rain. But I've been driving around this area for a couple hours. You know, keeping an eye out for a good spot, but really just having some fun in the Land Cruiser. I love this area because, like I said, I look down at the clock, I'm like, wow, I've been just putzing around for 2 hours. But yesterday I cooked a steak in the Jeep. Today I've got a salmon. Now, I didn't realize how big it was. You know, that's really big. I wanted something about half that size, but that's all they had. I guess, that's what I was told. So out here to my right is a giant meadow. You know, no trees out there. I don't know if like years ago they cut them to create these meadows, but giant meadow over here. And beyond that, I found, well, I'll show you. I found a bunch of cattle back there. Been driving around for a while out here, a couple hours actually. Just perfect weather. Cloud system came in. But now I'm looking to find a place to cook, and I am running into a lot of cattle. So you get a good mixture of roads, you know, smooth clay roads and rougher roads like this. But haven't had any issues. And no mud. I haven't seen any mud. Oh, there's more. Here's more cattle chilling. They got a nice campsite here. And then looking the opposite way of the meadow, it's just forest everywhere and so much water and moisture. I was here a month ago, and that all the snow melt and the rains we've been having since has created some of this prairie grass or meadow grass. From a distance it looks really good. You get up close, it's very sparse. But that's all right. It's wow. And then the clouds, hard to film on a day like this. If you look like right here, like you'll see these areas they'll just look like a big mirror of white. With the clouds going in and out and me being in the shade, the camera doesn't know what to do. But that's all right because it's glorious. Just don't pay any attention to that stuff. But it's, I think it's about 68 right now. It's definitely in the 60s, not the 70s. And there's a little breeze. It's changing directions. I believe it's coming from that meadow area, kind of across this way. And so today I've got the cooker set up perfectly. I'm trying to cook it on lower heat. Yesterday, you know, I don't ever use bug spray until I get attacked bad, and then I'm like, oh, I should add bug spray. Well, I didn't have any yesterday. And looking at my legs today, I got all bit up yesterday out there. And, you know, there was plenty of stuff flying around. So today I brought some bug spray, put it on. I got a bite right here on my wrist. I can feel itching. But they're like gnats, probably. Mosquitoes, maybe? Mosquitoes. But that's summer for you, right? So today I've got salmon, and I've got some green beans. I don't know if you can see in there. Some green beans. And I looked up on the internet, I said, what goes good with salmon? And there was a whole list of stuff. But one of the things was sauteed garlic green beans. Well, I got the green beans. So we'll see how this turns out. It's a lot of food. I had corn yesterday, and the corn, same brand of this green beans. The corn was so good. It's been a while since I've had some corn, so I think if there's something you enjoy and it's been a while since you've eaten it, it tastes pretty good, right? It adds to it. So I think I'm gonna make a cup of coffee while this thing cooks up. So far so good. I'm not flipping it. I have it skin side down on aluminum foil, and I brought the aluminum foil up so hopefully like the heat kind of wraps up like a little steaming oven. I don't know. Cooking, you know, I talked about it not too long ago, but I never really cooked steaks in a pan, and fish either. If I cooked fish in aluminum foil, it'd be over fire. So it's still pretty new to me. I'm probably a little bit weird that I didn't use a pan, but I always used, you know, an open fire of some kind, either at home, you know, like a Weber Mini Q. We use those things. I like that. It works pretty good. There's another pretty decent dark clouds coming in from the north, coming south right now. So it's funny. I don't really have the Land Cruiser set up perfectly for like awning versus sun. I have it set up for how it looks. I like how it looks. I mean, the campfire rock ring is right over here. It's a nice little area. Then I got this grass, all this grass here, and that's the meadow in the background over there. And then looking this way, I've got all the forest. Like I said, this is just cast from this, what is there, like 4 pine trees here, this shade here. But the sun is actually straight up. But you watch, there's a really big cloud hitting the sun right now. I'm looking at the distance, see if I can see the shadows coming in. Man, what a perfect day. You just never know what you're gonna get. Yesterday, even though I got some of those monsoon clouds, no rain ever hit. Nowhere. Even as I was leaving, I said I would check and see if I get rain as I'm leaving. No rain down there. The forecast this morning said rain, could be possible rain, and most likely rain up north, which is where I'm at from my house. So there's been some sprinkles, but there's definitely some pretty cool rain clouds. When it takes the sun away, oh, just like right now, and there's no breeze, you should be able to see it getting darker. Oh, it's so good. This is a perfect time for a time lapse. You can see now all those bright spots are gone. This is like simulating golden hour, like the perfect time to film is like this. What it does is, as the golden hour is just before like the sun goes down, and just as it's coming up, because what it's doing is it's almost like soft light, right? No direct sunlight, and that's what this is doing. A cloud is blocking. It's like a giant softbox up there, spreading the light out just beautifully. Oh, I don't have my hat on. I don't need my hat on when there's no sun. Man, it's so nice out right now. I think I'm going to have to eat the fish from the aluminum foil because it looks like, even though it's non-stick, the skin is kind of stuck to it. It's gonna rip all apart. Maybe I could take a chunk out. Oh my God. This part here is one of the thicker parts. Holy cannoli. This is it's pretty good. It's harder to cook. I was more concerned with it because of the thickness. Pretty fat, and then it tapered down to a thinner area, but I'm gonna try the thinnest area right now. I just ate the thickest area. Wow, that is amazing. A little too much weeds on here. Just that lemon and some salt and pepper. Perfectly seasoned, and you still just get all the salmon flavor you want. That was really good. It turned out really good. Wow. It's a pretty hearty fish. What did I make last time? Tilapia? That tilapia was just, you know, it was like, oh, this is good fish, but this is like substantial, right? I've eaten about over half of it already, and you feel like, oh, that's a lot of fish. Oh, it's so good. Turned out good. I was a little nervous about cooking it. You know, you don't want to overcook it. You definitely don't want to undercook it. If I need that much mercury, I'll just eat a thermometer. Pretty darn good. Bear country too, by the way. They're all over here somewhere. The fresh smell of salmon in the air is always a good thing. I finally got out my chair. I didn't even get it out. I just got everything out and started cooking. I've been sitting in here for 4.5 hours driving around, so it turned out really good. It was very tasty. Green beans went well with it. Because I did back-to-back yesterday and today, honestly, I'm a steak guy. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of dude. This was really good, and probably like once in a while. The salmon to me was, I don't know how to describe it. You'll probably understand. Because salmon's what, like an oilier fish? And it was a lot more. The tilapia was refreshing. Especially with the garlic and the tomatoes on top. It was kind of a refreshing, real light type meal. That was a couple videos ago. And then yesterday I did some top sirloin with corn. Oh, it's like a comfortable chair, right? It's like, oh, it's like your favorite shoes, your favorite work boots. I got a story about that, work boots. It's like your pajamas, your favorite pillow, you know. It's just like your blankie, right? Your favorite little blankie, your snuggle, what do they call those things? Those things you wear. So, steak and potatoes, steak and corn. Oh, that's for me. That's for me. Look, I like fish. I like sushi too. We usually probably wow, that dude was super aggressive. We usually get sushi probably once a week. Not from a sushi place, but from the grocery store. I know what you're thinking. They have a sushi bar there. And if you go in there, and the two dudes are the sushi chefs are making the stuff, get sushi. Right? If there's nobody there, and it's in the little thing, don't get sushi. But so I like spicy tuna. I like the sashimi over the rice. Obviously I start off with like a California roll, just like the avocado and stuff. Now I don't even really like those. I want some fish, right? Crispy, there's this one they do crispy with this orange. Oh, love that. Spicy tuna with these crispy things and the orange sauce. The bomb. Love that. So I do like fish. And I like this salmon, and I really like that tilapia the other week. But if I had to make a choice, I would go with the steak. And if it was something like, all right, let's just say 3 times out of the month, I would want to cook steak and 1 maybe cook fish. Actually, 3 times I'd want to cook steak, and 1 time I'd want to make corned beef hash and chorizo breakfast burritos. I don't eat breakfast at home. This is the weirdest thing. I don't eat breakfast, but I love breakfast. But I am one of those guys who eats, there's no time limit on breakfast. Breakfast could be midnight, 10 p.m., whatever. Burrito, eggs, corned beef hash, chorizo, whatever you want to put in there, potato, really good. That's the funny thing though. I love breakfast, but I don't ever eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast because I'm kind of lazy when it comes to that stuff. I get up like clockwork. Coffee, it's the only coffee I drink unless I'm out here. 1 cup of coffee in the morning, that's it. Start working, do all the work. I might not eat until 5 p.m. And I'm not one of those people that gets like, I got all this extra around here and around here. So I've got plenty of nutrients in my body. But I don't get headaches. I don't get like fatigued or lethargic because I guess a lot of it has to do with your sugar balance. Mine seems to be pretty good when it comes to that. So I'm thankful for that. Flies and stuff are starting to get a little spicy. There's one here. He's like on steroids or something. He's super aggro. He's so mad. He's like, where'd the fish go? I got a story. I've made so many videos on YouTube. Not these kind, but gaming videos. But my gaming videos, because I love to talk, I know that's hard to believe. No, I talk a lot. Maybe that's why I talk so much on here, because I talk for like 6 hours a day on gaming videos and live streams. And it's not the easiest thing to do. Like, Try it. Try it sometimes. Try and do that for 6 straight hours. It's easy for me, for whatever reason. So I may have told this story before. I got over 10,000 videos on YouTube. Yeah, 10,000. Between 2 gaming channels and this. So, years ago, I got some Red Wing boots. So Red Wing are kind of like old school. They've been around forever. They were your dad's boots or your dad's dad's boots. I remember my dad had Red Wing boots. So I went, they had these stores, right? Like a Nike store. They had a Red Wing store. I think they still do. There's so many good boots out nowadays though, but these Red Wings, I went into the store. It was this little tiny place. One dude working there. Nobody in there, of course. And they got this machine you stand in, right? And it goes, you know, it checks the length of your foot, the width of your foot, with you standing, you know, on all your weight. So the boot was sized perfectly. Knowing that, 2 things that I know of. Probably, you know, tennis shoes or basketball shoes. If you're playing basketball or playing tennis or running, same thing. But very specifically to me at the time, golf shoes and work boots. So you're going to be in those for like a minimum of 4 to 5 hours, right? Walking. So your feet swell just because of circulation, right? Your feet swell. So you got to take that in consideration. Don't buy shoes or boots that are too small. I definitely don't want them too big, but you got to have that swell factor. And this guy knew, you know, he's like, okay, and he sized my boots. They were 14s, by the way, which is what I wear. I wear 14s. In most, like, U.S. type shoes and boots, 14. Some overseas ones is 15, but nothing under 14. These ones I have on now are Keen, like shoe boots. So anyway, long story super long. It ended up being, I got these boots that rail workers use. So they're designed to be super comfortable walking on those big rocks along the tracks and walking on the tracks. Now they weren't as oil and gas and chemical resistant as I really needed for where I worked, because we worked around railroads a lot too, but ours was petrochemical stuff. So a lot of times I was standing in gasoline or diesel or, you know, naphtha, MTBE, what, name your chemical, I've walked in it and worn it. But right away, he took the soles out, he put in these other insoles, right? And these were the most comfortable boot I've ever had in my life. Now, I had them like 10 years. 10 years. The top, you know, they started to look, they never tore, none of that stuff, but they just were like, they looked like an old man's shoe, you know, because 10 years of wearing these things. But we would go, when we were racing, we'd be out at the track for 10 hours. 10 hours walking from the pits, you know, I was spotting and doing pit work. So walking from the pits to the spotter stand, pushing the car around, going through tech, doing all this stuff. It was a circle track. And I chose to wear my work boots instead of whatever, tennis shoes. My work boots gave me the most comfort standing all day, walking around, and they weren't too dang heavy either. They weren't steel toe, by the way. So that makes a big difference. But man, that's my story with the most comfortable shoes I've ever had were my work boots. Now I think years later, I tried to buy them again, but either they changed them or I bought the wrong ones. Maybe I didn't buy those ones that were on the rail, or I didn't put enough time into them. But man, I threw them away eventually. Red Wing boots made for, you know, people working on the rails, trains, and with those insoles in there. And I think like every year or two I would replace those insoles. Oh my, you got like the ultimate in support, but cushioning as well. It was really cool. All right, you guys, that's it for me. I got the camera up on the table. Probably looks weird. I'm looking up at it. Wow, what a great day. And I still have hours more of this. That's the beauty of it. A lot of times when I sign off on these videos, I still have hours of enjoyment. off-roading to get out of here, and about an hour and a half drive once I get out of here. So glorious. It was so good. Food was perfect. Weather was outstanding. This location is probably one of my favorites in northern Arizona, this general area. This is that largest Ponderosa pine forest in the world. That's where I'm at. Somewhere just south of Flagstaff. Beautiful. I love it. Anyway, that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next weekend.